Hello, my friend. Welcome back to my pep talks. So today, let's have an honest chat about money. Because if there's one thing photographers don't talk about enough, it's what happens when you actually raise your rates. Everybody loves to talk about the success stories. I doubled my prices and suddenly I had dream clients knocking down my door. But what about the other side? The side no one puts on Instagram. The side where you raise your rates because everyone told you to, you flip your pricing sheet live on your website, and instead of hearing this sweet ping of inquiries, you hear crickets. I've been there. I remember being told point blank by an expert that if I didn't raise my rates and start doing business sales, my business wasn't real. I was told if you don't value yourself enough to charge more, no one else will value you either. And honestly, it made me ashamed. Like I'd been playing small. Like maybe everyone was laughing at me behind my back because my pricing wasn't professional enough. So I did it. I raised my rates, not a tiny bump, but a big, bold leap. I changed my packages. I redid my website. I told myself, this is it. This is the moment I finally grow up and run a real business. And guess what? I hated it. It didn't feel like me. It didn't feel aligned. It didn't feel like how I wanted to work. And worse, the inquiries slowed to a complete trickle. For months, I refreshed my inbox like a teenager waiting for a text back, and nothing. Complete silence. And I was used to getting at least 10 to 15 inquiries a week. And when an inquiry finally did come in, I sent over my new pricing sheet with all the new packages, and I never heard from them again. So this was my first taste of what I'd like to call photographer emotional math. One inquiry plus 0 bookings equals I'm a failure forever. 2 likes on a post equals my work is irrelevant. 1 ghosted client equals I should just shut it all down. Now our brains are a little dramatic, but in that moment it didn't feel like emotional math. It felt like truth. It felt like proof that I'd ruined my business by doing exactly what I'd been told to do. What? Even though it was against what my gut instinct was telling me to do. To raise a little bit, to find my sweet spot. And that sting comes with that feeling like you broke your business. And it's brutal because raising your rates isn't about money. It's about identity. It's about saying, I believe my work, my time, and my art is worth more. So when the inquiries dry up, it feels personal. Like the world just voted and the verdict is, you're not worth it. So here's where I want to pause, because if you have been here, I want you to know you are not alone. You're not the only one who has raised your rates, hated it, and panicked. I see this all the time. You're not the only one who tried in-person sales because everyone swore it was the only way, only to walk out of the appointment drained, sweaty, and thinking, I don't even want to sell socks at Walmart. Why am I trying to sell wall art packages like I'm on QVC? Now, the truth is, pricing is not a one-size-fits-all. My math is not your math. Your math is not her math. And thank God for that, because if we were all running the exact same numbers, this industry would be a nightmare. So let's break it down. A luxury photographer in New York City is going to have completely different expenses than a newborn photographer in a rural town. The cost of living, the studio rent, the insurance, and taxes, all of that is different. And in what we actually want to pay yourself, it gets even more personal. Because maybe I want my business to pay for my full-time income, while someone else just wants it to cover vacations and hockey gear for their kids. Neither is wrong. But if we're charging the same just because we were told that's what real photographers do, one of us is going to burn out fast. Even if you could find luxury clients in any market, and yes, you probably can, you have to ask yourself, do I want to serve them? Do I want the pressure of a $10,000 newborn package? Do I want the type of clients who expect a boutique experience from top to bottom? Or do I just want to serve everyday families who just want honest photos on their wall without it feeling like a mortgage payment? That's the part no one tells you. Raising your rates is not just about charging your worth. It's about defining what kind of business you actually want to run and what kind of life you want to live. And that really brings me to the bigger truth. You need to define your own definition of success. Now, for some people, success is 6 figures and a booked out calendar. And for others, success is shooting 2 sessions a week and having the rest of the time free for their kids. Success might look like a boutique IPS model with framed art and heirloom albums. Or it might look like an all-inclusive digital package that keeps things simple. There is no prize for running your business exactly the way someone else says you should. There's only burnout if it doesn't fit you. So when I raised my rates because someone told me, I skipped the most important question. What does success actually look like for me? If I'd asked myself that, I would have realized that success for me isn't hustling harder to meet someone else's definition of legit. It isn't playing a pricing game that makes me dread inquiries instead of celebrating them. Success for me is sustainable. It's aligned. It's feeling proud of how I show up for my clients and still have enough energy left for myself. And you know what? That version of success changes, and it should. The definition of success I had when I first started is not the one I have now. And in the beginning, success was just someone booking me. Anyone, honestly. Now later, success was being able to pay for family vacations with my photography. And then it became building an education business to help other photographers grow. And who knows what it'll look like in 5 years. And that's the beauty of it. Success is allowed to evolve just as you do. So here's what I want you to take away from this long rant. If you raised your rates and inquiries dried up, it doesn't mean you failed. It means you're gathering data, you're testing, and you can adjust. Now, if you've tried a model that made you miserable, it doesn't mean you're not professional. It just means that model isn't for you. And that's not failure, that's wisdom. You don't have to prove your worth with your price tag. Your worth is how you show up, how you care, and the images you create. The definition of success is the only one that matters. Not mine, not the expert on Instagram, not the person in your local Facebook group. Yours. So next time you're tempted to raise your rates just because someone told you to, pause. Ask yourself, does this feel aligned with my life, my market, my clients, my energy? And if the answer is no, friend, you don't need their permission to do it differently. Because at the end of the day, the math only has to make sense to you. The model only has to feel good to you. The business has to work for you. And when you build from that place, not from pressure, not from shame, not from chasing someone else's definition of success, that's when you actually win. Not because you charge more, not because you landed luxury clients, but because you built something honest, aligned, and sustainable. And that, my friend, is success worth fighting for. I am sending you so much of my light and love today. I will see you next time.